Hi, welcome to this edition of Florida's Event Heroes, sponsored by the Florida Festivals and Events Association. I am Laura Reines, Special Events and Talent Coordinator for the City of West Palm Beach, and today I'm with the executive staff from the Palm Beach North Chamber of Commerce, one of the largest and most active business organizations in Southeast Florida. Serving businesses in the 10 municipalities that make up Palm Beach North, the Chamber fosters a partnership of private, public, educational, and civic organizations working together to ensure Palm Beach North is Florida's prosperity coast. The Chamber produces 3 premier events in the area: ArtiGras Fine Arts Festival in Palm Beach Gardens, Art Fest by the Sea in Juno Beach, and Loggerhead Triathlon in Jupiter. Now let's put some names to these fabulous faces. Bianca Colon is Director of Events for the Chamber and the Festival Director of ArtiGras Fine Arts Festival. Bianca's role includes overseeing all logistics for the festival, assisting with artist relations, volunteer recruitment, Kids Zone activities and programs, and more. ArtiGras 2022 will be Bianca's 4th ArtiGras and 3rd year as director. Marley Sartori is the Director of Marketing and Communications for the Chamber. She oversees all their marketing and outreach, as well as their premier events, including ArtiGras Fine Arts Festival. Marley is a Palm Beach County native and lives in Jupiter, Florida. And Stuart Oville is the CEO of Standing Ovations Event Production and Management and Festival Operations Manager for the Chamber. Stuart oversees both art festival and triathlon operations and has been the Chamber's festival contractor for 15 years. Bianca, Marley, and Stuart, welcome.
Welcome. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Let's find out why you are this week's Florida Event Heroes. Bianca, why don't you start us off with an overview of ArtiGras, the one festival that I think we're going to focus on most today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us. So ArtiGras Fine Arts Festival in 2021 just celebrated its 36th year. ArtiGras Fine Arts Festival is a juried art show with about 300 artists. And those 300 artists are all different 12 mediums. We incorporate some awesome things like live music, food, drink. We have an awesome kids zone, and we have some awesome art programs too for our kids. We're looking forward to ArtiGras 2022, and our applications are going to be opening this summer.
Excellent. So can you tell us right off the bat, what was the most unique thing you did to make ArtiGras successful and stay relevant during the pandemic?
Absolutely. So for ArtiGras 2021, the real main reason how we were able to stay successful was actually our move. We moved from our home in Jupiter, Florida for the past 20 years, and we moved into Palm Beach Gardens just down the road. And this new location was much bigger. So we were able to spread everything out and keep everything very safe and socially distant. This really helped with the success of the event and welcoming guests into a safe environment. And also throughout ArtiGras 2021, as we were prepping, we would normally have a kickoff party. This year we held that virtually. We partnered with our local news, and we were able to unveil our ArtiGras commemorative poster with the news and incorporate a silent auction that was virtual. And it was so successful that is how we are doing our auctions moving forward. Also, while looking through the planning of ArtiGras, we had to really reduce our touch points, and we were able to do so by incorporating a lot of QR codes for ticket sales, volunteer recruitment, merchandise purchasing, and so much more. And those were our main things.
So Marley, was the Chamber able to retain all of its event staff throughout the pandemic?
So unfortunately, we were not able to retain all of our staff, but we were super fortunate with ArtiGras. We have such a strong steering committee and such committed volunteers that they really stepped up this year and helped out the staff that we do have in making the event such a success.
That's too bad to hear, but it's good that you can count on volunteers. They're such an important piece of the event planning puzzle that we all work on together. Can you tell us what your current event portfolio looks like going forward? Will you do only live events, some hybrids, such as Bianca touched on a minute ago, or a combination of both?
Sure. So we are back to doing live events for sure. But something we've seen through the pandemic is the live stream aspect of it is such a great way to show our sponsors, give access to people who are maybe not comfortable coming in person yet. So for instance, our breakfast events, we're still live streaming those, as well as in 2020, we were not able to do our loggerhead triathlon. So instead, we did a month-long mileage challenge called the Run Creeper Crawl Challenge. And it was such a success. So we're actually going to keep that event in addition to loggerhead triathlon this year. So we're doing a little bit of both.
And I'm hearing that from everybody all across the state. And it actually seems like it's one of those lemons to lemonade scenarios where nobody thought about it really in the past because we didn't have to, but now that we've seen it and how successful it is, and it's bringing in people that, might not have been able to come regardless because of medical reasons or distance, are able to join in. So that is fantastic. Stuart, do you feel that being based in Florida enabled you in the chamber to get back to live events faster than other parts of the country?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think, with what was going on here in Florida, it really helped and allowed us to do more than what was happening in neighboring counties or, with standing ovations. My business is Palm Beach, Broward, Dade, and Broward and Dade were completely shut down. So, but in Palm Beach County, we were a little bit more open. So it certainly did help us with planning. The move really helped us with the planning aspects because every government entity had their own rules and regulations. And so with gardens, that was another thing that helped us with the overall move because they were willing to bring us back and to help us with safety and distancing and any and everything above and beyond. So that was really one of the reasons why we did move. But we also moved because we had some major construction going on in the area. So yeah, it definitely helped us out.
Okay, so then going in, that leads really nicely, I think, into our next question. The pandemic forced every planner to re-examine their entire rule book for how effective events are produced. What one new idea, and if you have more than one, that's fine, that you or your team came up with and implemented, could you share with your fellow FFEA members as a best practice going forward?
I think, for event planners, for all of us, safety is like our number one aspect for the event. So going through the pandemic and going through even today, still things that are going on as far as today is safety. Really looking at our overall risk management plan, looking at that in detail, specifically with gardens and their safety professionals and anything that is dealing with the different city departments. So we really work closely with them to kind of come up with a plan. And it's something that, we've had plans in the past, but now I think this has really kind of helped us all understand that your plan is very important. It is different for you, for different cities, different events, but it's something that you are always constantly looking at, always constantly revising, always doing something to improve. And I think that's what you get from FFEA by networking with the different peer groups that are out there. And yeah, it was definitely something that we certainly look into a lot, and we always are looking for ideas and making it as safe as possible.
Absolutely. And Marley and Bianca, I can ask you guys the same question. Did you have one element that you came up with that you'd like to share, or you kind of side with Stuart there on the safety as being the most important?
I'll start. I think that was really our focus this year. Just trying to keep things simple, clean, and creating a safe environment was truly what was going to make the event successful. And not only having guests show up, but having our artists attend, because this is their lives essentially. So we needed to create a safe environment for them to attend. And by putting our efforts toward risk management, it really created that safe environment.
And we did do different elements. We did do the QR codes, did more virtual, like the silent auction. So those things helped, but it also was something that it kind of opened our eyes a little bit more to be able to explore, other options. Like Marley said, we are going to keep some of this stuff going forward, as you had mentioned. So yeah, it's all good stuff. We just had to go through it, I guess. Yeah,
I echo what Stuart and Bianca say. And I know for myself, as someone in charge of the marketing who's monitoring all the social media, it seemed like everyone had different ideas of what was right and wrong. So we had to just decide to just listen to our elected officials and what our local governments were telling us, and just do the best we could. And I think everyone felt very safe at ArtiGras, so that's a success for us.
And that underscores too the importance of listening to your local officials, and not filtering out the noise and doing what you feel is best under the guidance of those who are trying to do what is best for everybody. And it looks to me like you guys did a great job at a very successful event, and you've learned some things along the way, as we all have, which leads us to the end here, because we do try to keep things brief. When speaking candidly, like we have today, about the challenges event planners faced over the past year, and the triumphs, I could say, it can be a little bit overwhelming to look at where we are now compared to the landscape in 2019. However, we are optimistic for a bright future in the world of events, and we like to end every discussion on a high note. So I'm going to ask each of you to provide some concluding remarks that leave our audience with some hope about the future. Bianca, we'll start with you.
Absolutely. So the future is bright, I think. 2020 and even moving into 2021, it really has made event planners reinvent that wheel that no one wants to, and moving forward, I think events are going to look a lot more like technologically savvy. We're going to have a lot more of a cleaner environment because we like that now. And then the attendance is going to get back to normal, or not even greater, because people are going to be excited to come together again, or have already, now that we're moving into hopefully a brighter future. So that's what I think.
Marley?
I just think, it's so easy to groan and take it for granted, but this kind of made us appreciate events. When it was taken away from us, all we wanted to do was come together and do events, go to events. So I think that it will just give us a greater appreciation for bringing people together and having these different community gatherings.
And Stuart?
Sure. Like, my biggest thing is just keeping those great connections, especially through the memberships of FFEA. I met and have dealt with a lot of people over the past year via Zoom, which was something new for all of us. But I found, that with utilizing Zoom, yes, in-person meetings are phenomenal, but having a Zoom call does help, and it helps save time. I don't know about you, but my time is so valuable. And so having that extra time and not having to drive, go to a meeting, do this and whatever, that just helped. So I'm looking forward to hopefully like doing some more virtual things, like meetings and just stuff that we need to have done for planning a great event through Zoom. And then, like I said, really keeping that focus on FFEA, on the memberships, meet people, they're there for us, and everybody's willing to share. So that would be my big suggestion, is to keep those contacts, meet other people. You can't lose, especially with all the members with FFEA.
Great point. Thank you. Because if it wasn't for the pandemic, we wouldn't be doing these, interview opportunities around the state where we're all able to share. And it's instant access. Once this is posted to FFEA's website, any member can go in and watch and see all of these great ideas that you are presenting and sharing, along with others that we've seen from the state, other members around the state. So I thank you guys. Thank you so much, Bianca, Marley, and Stuart, for the outstanding work you've done with ArtiGras, the Chamber in general, and for sharing your stories and insights today with the FFEA community. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
On behalf of the FFEA, we thank you, our audience, for your time, and hope you enjoyed today's discussion.